Yolanda Saldivar is one of the most hated women in all of American history. She murdered our beautiful Selena Quintanilla in 1995. Here are all the events that led up to the murder. Get this, Yolanda Saldivar was a nurse. So somebody who was meant to help people survive and live and take care of them, she ended up murdering her? Crazy. In 1991, Yolanda attended one of Selena's concerts. This is when she became a super fan of Selena. After the concert, she started calling Selena's father Abraham non-stop. And what was she calling for? She wanted to make a fan club for Selena. Abraham, Selena's father, eventually gave her permission to start the fan club. In his own words, he said that she seemed genuine and that she seemed very excited to work for Selena. Yolanda actually quit her nursing job and became a full-time employee of Selena. It was around the time that Amor Prohibido reached #1 in the Latin Billboard charts. Can you imagine the envy this woman must have had for Selena? Yolanda in interviews would say that Selena was her idol. Okay, but let's talk about this foundation because I haven't used foundation in a couple of months. It's from Essence Cosmetics and look at the glow. Where's that coming from? After a couple of years of working with Selena, Yolanda was not only managing the fan club, she was also helping Selena open her 2 clothing boutiques. This meant she had a lot of access to Selena. In an interview, Abraham said that he started noticing that Yolanda was becoming obsessed with Selena. For example, if Selena was at a concert, Yolanda would physically act as a barrier between Selena and her fans. Abraham told her, "This is not your job. We have bodyguards for that." She wanted Selena all to herself. Eventually, some of the employees from the boutique started complaining about Yolanda. The employees started to complain that she had mismanaged funds from the fan club. In other words, she was embezzling money from the fan club. How could she claim that Selena was her idol, that she loved her, and she wanted to help her, while you're stealing money from her? But you guys, it doesn't stop there. The employees also said that she was destroying designs. Same designs that were being made for the boutique, Yolanda was destroying those designs. And she was even threatening the employees. And the cherry on top, she was recording the employees. This is when Abraham started investigating all of the claims that the employees were making. And indeed, he found that she had embezzled $30,000. Then he started getting complaints from the members of the fan club saying that they had paid their dues but had not received any merchandise. You know what's so terrifying? That Yolanda was acting like a saint in front of Selena. To these employees, she was being terrible. She was abusing them. Unfortunately, Selena never believed that Yolanda would be capable of such a thing. March 9th of 1995, Selena and her father Abraham decided to confront Yolanda about the embezzlement. Abraham said that during the confrontation, Selena was very emotional because she couldn't believe that Yolanda would be capable of such a thing. But Yolanda, on the other hand, was defensive and said she just didn't know about any of it. So she basically denied everything. During the confrontation, Abraham told Yolanda that they would get the police involved if she did not return the funds. You guys, 2 days after that, she purchases a gun. She told the gun store that she had been having problems with the family of an elderly person that she had been taking care of because she was a nurse, and that she was buying the gun for protection. But like I said before, Selena refused to believe that she would be capable of any of this. Selena did not cut Yolanda off, and this made Yolanda really happy. In fact, Selena asked Yolanda to help her open up another boutique store in Monterrey, Mexico. Guess what Yolanda did? She returned the gun. Yolanda was so happy that she hadn't been cut off, she went and returned the gun. But a few days after that conversation, Selena started asking Yolanda for some important documents that she needed to return to them. And what did Yolanda do? She went and repurchased the gun. Is that not as premeditated as it can get? The day after the confrontation, Yolanda decided to show up to the recording studio and Abraham did not let her in. In fact, he kicked her out. Police believe that this is one of the events that triggered her into buying the gun in the first place. On March 30th, Yolanda checks into a Days Inn motel. That very night, Selena comes over at 11 p.m. and this is when Yolanda gives her the documents. And Selena goes home to Chris, her husband. But later on that night, Yolanda calls Selena and tells her that she had been raped in Mexico. Selena did not quite believe her, but she also didn't want to leave her hanging. But unfortunately, we all know that Selena decided to go by herself. In fact, Chris was still asleep in bed when Selena left the house. She picks up Yolanda in the morning and takes her straight to the hospital. The doctors at the hospital decide to run some tests on Yolanda since she claimed that she was raped, but they couldn't find anything because she wasn't raped. This is when Selena takes some of the nurses aside and tells her that she doesn't believe that she was raped and that her friend was making it all up. Selena drives Yolanda back to the motel. Because Yolanda has never spoken the truth about what actually happened, police can only predict that Selena was extremely emotional and angry at her during the ride back to the hotel. So let's just recap some of the things that Yolanda did. She embezzled $30,000 from the fan club. She hadn't even been sending the merchandise to the people who had signed up and paid the fees for the fan club. She was abusing and mistreating her employees at the boutique by threatening them, secretly recording them, and destroying designs for the boutique. On top of everything, she calls her in the middle of the night to tell her that she had been raped and that she needs to be taken to the hospital, only to find out that the rape never happened. Selena must have made it very clear that the relationship between them was over. Yolanda would have been panicking and grasping at straws. This is when Yolanda says they got to the hotel room and Selena took off their friendship ring. Yolanda, a couple of years back, had gifted Selena a friendship ring and they both wore the same ring. This is when Yolanda claims that she had the gun and that she grabbed it so that she could herself. Selena decides to turn around and exit the room. This is when Yolanda says that the gun went off in her hands. She claims that she ran after Selena to try to help her. Yolanda still claims that she never saw blood, therefore she didn't know that Selena had been shot. Norma Martinez was working at the motel that morning. She claims to have seen Yolanda running after Selena, pointing the gun at her, calling her a bitch. This is an eyewitness account, so they couldn't really prove that it had happened. If this is true, Yolanda knew that she had shot Selena, and she was running after her to shoot at her again. Selena had been shot in the shoulder, and the reason she died is because the bullet hit an artery. She was bleeding out extremely fast. According to eyewitness accounts, Yolanda then walked back into the room. She was not trying to help Selena. This is what happened to Selena. She gets shot in the back, she runs out of the room and runs straight into the lobby. This is when she says, Yolanda Saldivar, room 158, and then she passes out. While Selena Quintanilla is bleeding out on the hotel lobby, Yolanda is trying to figure out what to do. And this is when a 9.5-hour standoff ensues with the police and Yolanda. This is where police believe that Yolanda got the idea to claim it was an accident. One of the negotiators that got on the phone with her told her that it's okay because it might have been an accident. Maybe the gun went off by mistake. This is when Yolanda says, yeah, it was a mistake. Before that comment, Yolanda had not claimed that. At this point, there's hundreds of people standing outside of the hotel asking Yolanda to come out of the car. Selena was pronounced dead an hour after she got to the hospital. 6 months later, on October 1995, Yolanda was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. But she is up for parole March 2025. That's exactly 30 years after she killed Selena. While I was doing my research, I found an episode on Selena. Let me show you guys this clip because it actually disgusted me.
She trusted everybody and anybody. I don't think she ever met anybody that she didn't trust immediately and like immediately. And I think that probably was one of the reasons for her downfall.
Essentially, this man is victim blaming. How can he say that because Selena decided to trust Yolanda, it was her downfall? This is all Yolanda's fault. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a follow here and on Instagram. I love you guys. Bye.